So we're going to talk about a clock here for a minute. An alarm clock. An alarm clock with Google Assistant. A smart alarm clock with Google Assistant and a screen. It is, in not so many words, the Lenovo smart clock. And I really like this thing. Mostly. Let's go talk about it. All right, let's break it down. The Lenovo smart clock is $80 at retail. It's got a 4-inch display, it's got a speaker, it's got microphones, volume buttons, and a mute switch.
The mic is muted. The mic's back on.
All right, this isn't that difficult of a product to wrap your head around, okay? It's pretty much like a Google Home Mini with a screen on it. In fact, it's better to think of it like that, like just a smart clock, than it is to compare it to, say, the Google Nest Hub. That used to be called the Google Home Hub. It's got a new terrible name. Anyway, and you know what? The same thing goes for the larger Lenovo Smart Display, all right? It and the Nest Hub are just two totally different products. No, the right way to think about this is that basically anything you can do with the Google Home Mini, you can do with the Lenovo Smart Clock. Only it does have a screen, so yeah, it can do a little bit more. So first and foremost, as the name implies, this thing is a clock. And it's gonna tell the time on that display more than it does anything else. And because I know you're gonna ask, all right, fine. The 4-inch display has a 480 by 800 resolution, which happens to be the same as the Samsung Galaxy S2 smartphone, which made its debut in 2011. I know, because I was there. 2011 event. Yes, I'm that old. Anyway, the smart clock is running a MediaTek processor, it's got 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB of storage, and it's running the Android Things operating system. Not Android like a phone, Android Things like things that aren't phones. Now it also has an 1.5 inch speaker that puts out 3 watts, it's got a couple passive radiator speakers, and it mostly sounds exactly how you'd expect this sort of thing to sound, right? It's okay, it's decent, it's not great. On the back, you'll find the power port. You'll also find a USB port so you can actually plug in your phone and charge it while it's laying next to your clock. And you can have it in any color you want, just so long as it's gray. That's it. So what's it like to use? Well, it's a clock. Okay, it's like a Google Home Mini with a clock, but you get the idea, right? In fact, you set it up the exact same way as you do a Google Home Mini using the Google Home app on Android or iOS. Super easy. If you've ever done it before, it's the exact same process. So what all can you do? Well, you can change the clock face to a whole bunch of different faces. That's kind of fun for the first 1.5 minutes. You can set alarms, you can see the weather with a tap, or you can also see your upcoming appointments if you have all that turned on in your account. And because it has Google Assistant built in, you can yell at it and ask it questions and have it do things like, "Hey Google, play the Android Central podcast."
Okay, playing the latest episode of Android Central Podcast, Small Yard, High Fence.
"Hey Google, how long will it take me to drive to Miami?"
With light traffic, it will take you 9 hours and 24 minutes to get to Miami by car. I've sent the directions to your phone.
Now it's been a little weird. Sometimes you'll get results on the screen and other times it doesn't. And it's a little hit and miss so far, okay? This thing doesn't really do any real video. You're not gonna be watching YouTube on it. You can't Chromecast to it. It doesn't do YouTube TV.
I also need to know which device to use. Try saying that again and include the device's name.
It does, however, work with Nest cameras, including the Nest Hello doorbell. So if somebody comes to the door and rings the bell, it'll pop up here on the Lenovo smart clock. That's cool, but it's also kind of a niche thing, right? Or let's just put it this way, okay? If you're really serious about video, or even photos for that matter, because while you can ask it to show you your Google Photos, it can't actually use them like a slideshow background. You're gonna want a Nest Hub instead. And that brings us to the big question, right? Should you get this, or should you get something else that costs a little more? Now it's actually gotten really interesting. So the Lenovo Smart Clock retails at $80. The Nest Hub retails at $130. It's a good bit more expensive, right? And now we have the Amazon Echo Show 5 on the way. It's coming later in June. It's only $90, but it's got a 5-inch screen and does all of the Amazon Echo Show screens. That, I think, is gonna make the Lenovo Smart Clock a much harder buy than it was before Amazon dropped this on us. And you gotta remember, the Echo Show does photos, it does videos, and YouTube is on the way back to the Amazon Echo Show at some point soon, I hope, but it's coming. That's gonna make life a lot harder for the Lenovo Smart Clock. Now I hesitate to even say this out loud, but I gotta wonder if Google's gonna be able to update things any and put in more functionality with the software update. I don't know, nobody's saying that yet, let's just keep our fingers crossed, maybe? Otherwise, it's not gonna be that hard of a decision, right? All right, so that's it for the Lenovo Smart Clock. And it's a smart clock, a clock that's smart. And that's kind of all it is right now. And that's not to say I don't like it, because I do. And I love that it has actual volume buttons. That's something that's very much missing from the Google Home Mini. But I am missing all that cool connected home stuff that the Nest Hub can do so that you can control things without actually having to talk to it. That's nice. And it's missing all the video that, say, the Nest Hub has or the upcoming Echo Show 5. And the pricing's getting interesting, right? Amazon's being real competitive. But if all you want is a smart clock and none of that other connected home stuff or video or anything like that, it's gonna serve you really well, and 80 bucks isn't a bad price for it. So that's it for the Lenovo Smart Clock. If you got any more questions or comments or anything, hit me up down below. Go find me on the socials. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. That's it. See you later.